Hello? 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 Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello? Hello? Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. I am gonna quickly just run some tests on the audio. My mic cut out while setting up. I'm not quite sure why. I hope that the audio is good. I was gonna listen back to it, so bear with me. It's a bit low. Just testing. Test, test, test. It was a bit low, so I put it up a little bit on the OBS. Just testing. That's a bit high. Test, test. Kind of go halfway. Not quite sure why, but didn't get anywhere near this high on previous streams. I think this is good. I think this is good. Fantastic. with that now all said and done, let me get my tools all ready. I can discuss what we're going to do this evening. Probably going to be a shorter one today. Yeah, probably be a shorter stream today. We're starting a bit late. Had some things to do. But let me get my tools out. I'm actually going to turn on the big camera. Zoom out a little bit. I'll mention what has been done. I do have some good news with regards to the Amiga we were dealing with yesterday. I'll get around to talking about that in a second. Nearly the end of the week. It's hard to believe we're already pretty much halfway through June. Yeah, today we do have a Rolex to work on. It's a nice simple 3135. So the goal will be to get that stripped down. Should be a nice easy job, so he says. Again, I hope the audio is a little bit better. For some reason my mic did cut out when I was setting up the OBS today. So I've just unplugged it, put it back in. It seems to be a lot louder than previous streams, which is good because it was quite low before. Just gotta bear with me as I get my tools all out and ready, and we can crack on. Okay, I think we're pretty much good to go. Okay, so this is what we will be working on in a little bit. So Rolex Datejust running a 3135 caliber movement. Let me just take the case back off. There we go. It's already been polished, so just needs a service now. It looks quite clean. No sign of any water ingress or dirt or debris, which is always nice. The 3-1s are pretty solid movements to work on. Let me see if it'll tick if I give it a bit of wind. Nope. Doesn't want to go. Okay, we'll have a little look. It could be a broken mainspring. investigate. I'm going to put that aside for the time being because I want to talk about some good news. If you remember, if you're in the stream yesterday, you would remember we were working on, let me just adjust my camera. Working on a vintage Omega 501, which had a seed stem. So it was rusted in place, wouldn't come out. Managed to get it out with some assistance. As some of you may be aware, my dad is a watchmaker and he was over this evening. Essentially we had two-man job, one person holding an old busted screwdriver. It's not really too important. Held it up against the stem, and I was using the hammer to knock the screwdriver and eventually knock out the stem. A great success. So the stem is now out, which was a concern of mine. But I'm glad I managed to get it out. No damage to the winding or sliding pinion. So I'm very happy. So put that aside. I need to get it cleaned still, so it still needs to go through the machine. I can't really assemble the 565 that was stripped down yesterday. It does need a new mainspring. So we're going to have to put that on hold. So I guess I should really just go straight for the Rolex. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I want to have a pot. I'm not sure if I have any pots. Got them all in use at the moment. Nah, I think that's something. Got a spare container to do the trick. But before I do that, which one's this? Let me just empty out the basket for the Omega. Then I'll have a basket to at least work with when I strip down the Rolex. So your focus is a little bit out. Hopefully that's good. So this was cleaned yesterday. Sadly I can't really assemble it due to a broken mainspring. But alas, get a new one and we'll be fine. I'm just going to put it aside for the time being. just have the cleaning baskets to use for the Rolex. What I'll probably do is get the Rolex stripped down, get that cleaned. I'm not really going to have time to do it tonight to assemble it, but I can at least get it cleaned and get it ready for tomorrow. So I'll probably do a stream tomorrow after work and assemble the 3-1. The case is all done, it's in polished, so I can actually case it up, which would be nice. Might even make a short, a YouTube shorts out of it. Got to start making other content. Live streaming is nice, but also need to get some main channel videos and shorts up. Okay, so that's the Omega all cleaned, ready for assembly. Just need to wait on the mainspring. I see we have a low battery. I was going to change it quickly. Welcome back. I'm also going to take the Omega, put it aside for the time being. And we can basically make a start on the Rolex. Here she is. So this is the caliber 3135. Nice basic movement. There's nothing too complex, I wouldn't say. It's only running a date. Movement looks nice and clean. But it's not working. So we could just have a broken mainspring. Hello, hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much. Yeah, today's been pretty good. I'm going to finish on something nice and easy with this Rolex. But no, it's been a good day. I hope you've been well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. You may also notice that you have a moderator status as well. So I need to get some mods in the live stream. So at the moment I've got two. Two of you have been allocated moderator status. Blue hairspring, pretty. Oh, it is. It's very pretty. I'm just going to move some things around. I'm just going to take out the automatic, then loosen up the case screws, and we can take out the movement. So it's two screws, one here and here, that hold down the automatic. One and two. And that's the automatic out. I thought it might have been a broken mainspring, but there's definitely power. I can feel the resistance of the mainspring. So we might have, oh, I say might have another issue. We do have another issue. I may find it whilst stripping it down. If not, we're going to have fun reassembling it tomorrow. But usually the 3 ones are quite nice to work on. So I'm just going to loosen the case screws. Okay, forget that. It looks like they are currently loose. I think because the case was polished, it was put back in just for transport purposes, and the screws weren't actually tightened, so it stopped so abruptly. Yes, it did. It did indeed. I'll have a closer look. Okay. Movement's out. Just going to change movement holder to something more suitable. Make sure my camera is focused. There you go. Yeah, it did stop very suddenly. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what's causing that. Oh, there's one thing I am not very fond of. It is gloss black dials. And what we have here is a gloss black dial. Mostly because even the tiniest bit of debris, maybe a hair or a speck, will show up. Your guess is something loose inside? It's possible. Usually, if I expect something is loose inside, I would probably imagine there'd be no movement at all. Whereas it wants to tick, but it gets to a certain point where it will then catch on something and stop. So I'm not sure if we have a clearance issue, but there is a possibility something's gotten loose. Alright, hands are off. Just going to loosen the 2 dial feet screws. Sorry, my fingers are in the way. Move that aside. Just tighten down again before we remove the date disc. There we go. this top plate is held down by 4 blue screws. So it's a nice easy way to identify them. Got 4 blue screws. Gotta let me know as well if the audio is a bit better, because for some reason when I started up the OBS today, the microphone, whilst it was on, it wasn't registering any audio on the OBS, so I unplugged it, plugged it back in, and it seems to have picked up a bit more since plugging it back in. So I'm not quite sure what the issue was, but it sounds like it's better. So I was going to speed run this a little bit. I'm quite eager to find out exactly why it's behaving the way it is. Still low? Give me 1 second. Because even though it might be low now, beforehand on the OBS I had it maxed. Right now it's halfway. So if I put it at 3/4, okay, I've upped it a little bit. It's not quite 3/4, so I've still got quite a lot I can actually increase it by. But let me know if it's still on the low side, and I'll put up a bit more. So it might still be low on your end, but from my OBS it's only halfway. Before it was all the way. Better, but still low. Let's go a bit more. Testing, testing. How's that now? Did I put it all the way up again? Yeah, thankfully everything looks quite clean on this. Almost looks untouched. Much better, thank you. No, thank you very much. Feedback is always appreciated to make sure that I get this all best as possible. Okay, and that's everything from the dial side, with the exception of the keyless, we'll come back to the keyless once I've done the other side. I have my volume on 100% while it's usually at 20, so I'm scared of something else suddenly making noise and deafening me. Oh lord. Yeah, that's quite a difference. I know when I was running some test streams earlier, for some reason, yeah, the mic was really low. I think it's better now. I've still got some play to adjust the volume on OBS, because before I had it maxed out and it's still very, very low. It almost looks sticky. I don't know why. So I let it run. You see, it's like, you see that? It does. It's sticking on something. Very interesting. I don't actually think I haven't seen this before. We're into new territory. I haven't seen it act like that before. You can probably see my eyeglass here. So I'm trying to get in close here and see what might be causing it. It's very peculiar. Doesn't look like it's grinding or hitting anything. The balance wheel, that is. Let's take it out. I mean, the shock jaws look normal. They look a bit dry of oil. They both look fine. Could be end shake. Could be too tight. So I just loosen the two screws. You see it's almost wanting to kick and go. There is a bit of a build-up of debris around the impulse pin. As well as the pallets. The oils within the train are starting to congeal, starting to build up a little bit. I'm seeing scratch marks on the underside of the balance wheel, so maybe we are grinding on something. And the scratches are all the way around in different directions. What are you hitting? The jewels will look okay, they're just a bit dry. I'm going to get the little micro cam. I'm going to show you the debris that I'm seeing. It's going to be hard on this particular camera. Give me 1 second. Okay, so what you're looking at now is the pallet fork, which should be clean. It doesn't look worn, but there's this weird, there's like metal shards and almost like metal dust. I think that's the balance wheel. As I was mentioning, there's scratch marks. There's scratch marks on the underside of the balance wheel. And I think what we see here is basically debris from the balance wheel. And it's getting stuck in the pallets. That's what my first initial thoughts are. Yeah, so I reckon we've got some clearancing issues or something. I didn't spot at first. Everything looked okay. So I'm not quite sure what was grinding. Not a good sight? No, it's not. It's not a good sight. There's me thinking I had nice easy Rolex to work on tonight, and I'm seeing issues straight off the bat. Okay, I'm also going to show you. Oh, sorry. I'm also going to show you the balance wheel. Okay, so this is the balance. Actually, more specifically, this is the impulse pin. This is what I was saying, it looked like it got gunged up with something. It's definitely been gunged up. It looks like it's residue of the balance. Almost looks like the glue used in the pallet fork jewels. Forgot the name. Shellac. I think that's what you're referring to. The shellac that holds the jewels in place for the pallets. So we've got some issues here. Let me see if I can also show you the scratch marks. The hairspring's looking good though, at least. Looking at the bright side. Okay, so this is now what I was seeing on the balance wheel. Should be nice and smooth, but there's scratches all over from all directions. And I reckon that what we're seeing in the pallets and around the impulse pin, I reckon it's dust and residue from the scratches from the balance. That's what's making most sense to me at the moment. Which means something is causing the balance to get scratched and marked up. And I wonder what it could be. Because I haven't seen this this particular issue. I mean, I've seen issues where like the balance will have contact with, say, the center wheel, or maybe it's grinding on the pallet bridge. It's very odd. So I'd at least expect there to be marks somewhere where the balance would sit for the marks to actually appear. Scratching like this does not look like it is from turning. The direction of the scratches are so random. Yeah, they are very random. Unless something got loose in the movement, perhaps, but that would stop the watch. You would expect it to be a more consistent mark in one particular pattern, but this is just all over the place. Yeah, so much for a short stream. We could be here a little while. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to strip it down just to the point where we have the base plate. I'm going to carry on as I normally would, and before I put it in and after I put it in the cleaning machine, I'll take another look, check all the clearances, because that's got to be our issue for why it's wanting to stop so suddenly and abruptly. We have metal shavings giving us some issues, so I'm just going to continue the strip down as normal. I'll come back to check clearances later, but make a mental note of that. Just tightening up my screwdrivers. Thankfully though, it doesn't seem that it's actually worn the pallets down. Like there's debris around the pallets. I'll just clean them up a little bit. Yeah, there's no actual wear, because sometimes what you can get is a little notch will get created into the side of the pallets where the impulse pin engages. Can happen sometimes, but nope, these actually seem fine. They're just covered in gunk. So we don't need to replace them, which is good. Just going to cut the power. Yeah, I'll take another look later. There's definitely something wrong. Okay, so I've taken out the power. Let's go remove the pallets, and then just a train and barrel bridge. can't see anything that's gotten loose within the movement to have caused kind of erratic scratches, unless this has been worked on in the past, in which case I wouldn't know about it. And everything looks so clean, which is why it's a bit of a surprise. There's nothing protruding through the base plate. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Alright, it's going to take out the train bridge. I also love the fact I have a like a micro camera that can really capture every little detail as good as it does. Because you can basically see what I see when I use my magnifying glass, or my eyeglass. Rather than looking at it from a distance like you are now, you can actually see what I see, which I think is great. Rather than having to explain something, I can actually just show you. Let me just check the escape wheel. Escape wheel seems okay. Just removing the barrel bridge. Nope. There we go. Nearly forgot the crown. The zoomy camera is great. It's awesome. I love it. It can just be a bit tedious getting it into focus. But other than that, it's fantastic. So if I get this all stripped down, cleaned, and tomorrow I'll make a start assembling it and see if I can figure out what this issue is with the balance and why it wants to stop. Alright, that's basically all of the main components now removed from the base plate. Let me just make sure. focus is good. I typically will leave the balance guard in whilst cleaning, so we're not going to touch that. We'll leave the balance guard in. So all there really is now is the keyless and then the balance jewels, as well as pegging out all of the jewels before cleaning. That'll be the pre-clean. I feel like the light sometimes it reflects it so much, you just get blinded. I mean, this is more or less what I'm working on a regular basis in London. Although they've been giving me a lot more of the vintage jobs lately. So it's nice to get a 3-1. Okay, I'm going to leave the balance jewel in just for the time being, because I want to put the balance back in and see what this clearance issue might be, or what could be causing current issue we have. But before then, I'm going to take my pegwood and I'm just going to peg out the holes, especially now that I know that we have some level of debris within the movement and the oils were looking a little bit dry and congealed. The balance jewels were pretty dry. It doesn't look too gunged up, thankfully, around the train, but just standard procedure. Let's make sure everything's nice and clean, front and back. Nearly forgot. Okay, so I just got the balance back. I'm going to have one little look before I put it back in. Just see if there's anything that kind of sticks out now. Good news is pivots look good. Yeah, this watch is going to confuse me, I think. Show pegwood tip after. This one's actually quite clean. So this is just after this is just after the train. Oh, I cannot focus this. It wasn't actually that bad. You probably just see some of the oil. That's about it, really. Sometimes after I've done pegging out a watch, it will just be black at the very tip. Whereas this isn't that bad. We've got some debris in the pallet jewel. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. This isn't that dirty. It looks like it's just around the balance, as we've found out. All the rest of it's actually pretty clean. A little bit dry, but I've seen a lot worse. So this is now just the balance. There's nothing else. And it's spinning nice and free. So the pallets aren't in. I haven't screwed it in. And it's not stopping abruptly. Just makes the whole gunk around the balance weirder. Yes and no. We know it's isolated to the balance because of the scratches. The thing that might be surprised is that the gunk didn't make its way around the train, or maybe it's come to us to service before it got worse and spread. But the balance is now moving nice and freely. I'm going to put the 2 screws in, because if it's end shake issues, when I tighten these down, it will then start to stop again. It's going to be a process of elimination now to find out, or try and recreate the issue that we have discovered. Either that or I've worked my magic already and it's just going to go away. That never happens. No, it looks okay. So end shake's good. I say end shake. Let me just play with the end shake. Yeah, plenty of end shake. It's not grinding on anything now with the screws in. Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna put the pallets back in. If I put the pallets back in, maybe we'll see a difference. I don't think there's much point in putting anything else in after that, because it's not going to be interfering. I feel like it's going to be the pallets or nothing, which wouldn't make sense. Where did I put them? They're in here somewhere. Got them. There we go. pallets are back in. Let me just screw that down. It looks like either the watch is magnetized or my tweezers are wanting to stick to my tweezers. One second. Okay. Got end shake on the pallets. Still not seeing anything protruding through. Nothing was loose within the movement. Oh. So this is now with the pallets in place. And now it's behaving normally. It's got me a little stumped. Because we've definitely got scarring on the underside of the balance. And there's notable debris around the pallets and the impulse pin. And yet, can't see any indication as to what was causing the scarring on the underside of the balance. Well, it's clearing everything at the moment. Got a mystery watch. Are you certain the debris is metal? It looks brass in colour, very similar to that of the balance. which is why I'm leading to that conclusion. Usually if it's something else, because the other thing it could have been is sometimes when the rotor axle goes or it starts to wear, it will spread just debris across the movement, and you'll see it sometimes build up in the escapement, but that's black. This is more of a brassy colour, so the colour's off, and it's only in this particular area. There's nowhere else in the movement has it got this debris. So everything's matching up towards something scarring the underside of the balance, and it's not like it's light scarring, it's pretty, I wouldn't say deep, but you know, enough for there to be metal shards and debris within the escapement. And now just making sure that nothing has come loose and kind of wedged itself in the past maybe. I'll also show you the balance jewels, because the jewels look fine, they're just very dry. You'll see that there's just no oil in there. Put you back onto the microcam. So this is the balance cock balance jewel. There's just no oil, it's very, very dry, and it's the same on the underside. It's both the balance jewel and base plate balance jewel, very dry. Same with the escape wheel pivot. There was oil in the train. Some of the oil was starting to congeal, but that's a very dry balance jewel. Very dry. Okay, I might just put this aside for the time being, think on it. Let's just take out the balance jewel. I'll get it cleaned up. Maybe this is all a figment of my imagination. I need to take out the balance again, take out the pallets. Good evening, hello. How are you doing, Noel? Hope you're alright. We're just having some fun with this Rolex. giving us a bit of fun. Pretty much stripped down now anyway. Yeah, I'll put it through the cleaning machine, get it all cleaned up, and I'll continue to monitor and check the escapement and the balance, of course. But there's something still not quite right with it. You're doing good? Fantastic. How am I doing? Yeah, I'm doing very well. Now, today's been a good day. I cannot complain. One more day left before the weekend. I thought I was going to have a nice, easy evening. I guess stripped down with this Rolex, but it has some hidden secrets that it doesn't want to share with me. Oh, come on. There we go. I'm sure eventually those secrets will be unraveled, but for the time being, I'm not sure. Right, pallets are out, balance jewels are out. Let's put the balance back in. Okay, both screws now in the balance. What's the problem with this one? Still to find out, but when we first opened it up and started stripping it down, we did notice that the balance came to a sudden stop. So it wasn't spinning freely. Upon further inspection, noted that there is notable debris around the pallets and the impulse pin. It looks brass in colour, and on the underside of the balance there is scarring, scratches, marks all the way around in different directions. So my current hypothesis is that something has caused scratching of the balance, which caused debris to fall into the pallets and also into the escape, I guess, the impulse. The only thing I'm not sure about is what's caused the scarring of the balance. All the clearances look okay, there's nothing protruding, and the scratches on the balance are all jagged in different directions. If it was like a screw coming through, you'd expect to see one solid motion kind of channel into the balance. But there's nothing of the sort. You'll have to look back on the VOD or the live stream. On YouTube you can actually play back the live stream. I had it under the zoom cam where you could see in detail the scratches, the debris. It all looks very brass in colour, so similar to that of the balance. But yeah, I'm sure we'll figure it out. we'll be fine. But that is our base plate all stripped down, good to go. I'm just going to keep an eye for any debris, well, any issues. Yeah, the reverses aren't too bad. A little bit on the rough side, but that's fine. Interesting. Is this something unusual and something you've seen before? I haven't seen it like this before. I don't think I've seen scarring on the balance like this before either. I've seen a build-up of debris or gunk around the pallets and the balance and impulse pin. I've seen that before. That's typically as a result of a worn, I guess, rotor post where the bearing goes and it creates dust and debris and it'll wedge itself into the escapement. But I haven't seen it like this. So I'm not sure if something in the past has come loose. But that would have been... No, that wouldn't have been an issue then. Or it would have been an issue, but it would have been fixed. Unless the previous watchmaker who worked on it didn't service it and just refitted whatever came loose and left the debris in the movement. I'm not sure. That could actually be a plausible reason. Sorry, let me get this automatic stripped down. Because there's nothing loose within the movement. And there's nothing touching or making contact with the balance. So how did it get scratched? It's a mystery. And I believe that the build-up of gunk and debris around the impulse pin and the pallets is what's causing it to suddenly stop. Just going to peg my jewels. The jewels aren't too bad. As I said, the oils are like starting to congeal in areas, but they're not terrible. Got a little bit of build up around the rotor post jewel. That's quite common. You see that a fair bit, to be fair, with the 3 ones. Once that rotor post starts to seize up and wear down, and the mainspring looks good. Poke that out. I'm afraid today might be a shorter live stream. I know yesterday we had a a 3-hour stream. We're about an hour and a half into this. The goal was to get this one stripped down at least and ready to be cleaned so that tomorrow I can assemble it. And that's still very much the goal. Let's just take out the mainspring. Thankfully the mainspring looks good, so we don't need to replace that. But yeah, it's a very interesting issue we have with this build-up of debris. Mainspring's out. Mainspring is good. So now I just need to get this into the cleanup baskets and get that clean tonight. Hopefully you're going to get a few more watches for the weekend as well. So I might be doing some very long streams over the course of the weekend. Like 7 or 8 hours. Potentially. We'll obviously see how it all goes. I nearly forgot to peg the train. I found out, did I peg the train? I did not. Let me do that now. What do you usually do in these cases? Just wash it and put it together and see if it works. I mean, pretty much I've had a look. I can't spot any faults that are causing, or what would have caused the issue of the balance. The main issue that we have at the moment is the debris that's causing it to stop because of it's gunged up. So once that's cleaned, that should be fine. I'm just going to have to keep monitoring the balance to make sure that we don't have anything interfering. At the moment, I can't see anything interfering. So now I'm thinking if it had an issue in the past, maybe something got loose and scratched up the underside, and another watchmaker maybe refitted this part that came loose but didn't clean the movement, so the dust was still there. It's possible, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm gonna get it cleaned, and it's just gonna have to be very carefully looked at and monitored. So I can't see anything protruding or causing issues. I have another look before I put it in the machine. I'll check it again once it's out the machine, and I will continuously check it as I'm assembling. And if it tests fine, well, I must have done something, something right. Yeah, just going to clean it. I'm going to keep looking because I'm sure there's going to be something. going to put this aside for the time being. Have another little look at the balance, because that is our main focus at the moment. And right now there's no jewels in place, so just take the balance guard out. Usually I leave the balance guard in case it's hiding something. Oh, nearly. Okay, that's the balance guard out. Okay, so there's only one. Actually, no, there's a second screw that might come through. I'm trying to see what lines up with the balance from the underside. So a screw that might come through the base plate. I'm just trying to look at all possibilities now. Because it looks like one of the screws for the setting lever spring does go through the base plate. They're not long enough to really reach the balance wheel though. I'll also have to check the blue screws holding down that top plate on the dial side. I just got to make sure that once it's all the screws are in, it's all cased up. I need to make sure there is nothing interfering with the balance. Could be this was a previous issue. It wasn't it was rectified, but wasn't cleaned. There's also the possibility that my brain might just be fried. I'll look at it tomorrow with a fresh brain and go, oh, that's the issue. Because that does happen. Could just be suffering from brain fog. But I think I'm thinking pretty straight. Yeah, we'll check it tomorrow. I'll get it cleaned. We'll remove all the debris, all of the nasties. And we'll see how it performs tomorrow. Because right now it seems to be okay. Where's my basket? There it is. Okay, give me 1 second whilst I get this in the machine. I'll sit on that, I'll think. I do have some good news. I mentioned at the very beginning of the stream. You remember the Amiga. The issue with the stem has been sorted. So we've managed to remove the stem and crown. So we've saved the winding and sliding pinion, which is fantastic. I'll show you the stem as well. It might actually be usable. You might be able to use it. The stem, that is. Put it under the micro cam. If I can find it. There it is. There's the stem. Yeah, it's a bit iffy. Sorry, so awkward to try and show you, but the stem is quite corroded. And this was what was inside, holding it all in. So, I'm going to replace that stem, because that's just a bit much. Yeah, basically, so I had my my dad visited me this evening, and I mentioned the issue, and we managed to knock it out with, I'll show you. It's just an old battered screwdriver. We used it as a punch. Managed to knock it out. So a two-man job, one to hold it in place, and another to hit it with a hammer. Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't look savable. Nah, I'm going to replace it. Got a mixture of surface and integrated rust that's kind of damaging the plates, not the plates, just the stem in general. I don't think there's much on the inside. So the base plate's good, and we've saved the winding and sliding pinions, so a success. I just need to get a stem for it now. Thankfully, we've also got the original crown. And the crown, let me get my pin vise and take that off. So thankfully, when it came in, the crown hadn't snapped off the stem. Sometimes what happens. Don't worry about that beep. That's just to clean the machine doing its thing. Alright. And there is the crown. So today has been a pretty good day. Quite a success, I would say. And this weekend, hopefully I can get a few more bits done. Yeah, probably going to pull some long streams over the weekend. But I think for the time being, it's now just gone, what, 10 past 10 here. Got the 3-1 stripped down, and I've got an issue potentially to solve and figure out. We'll have a look at that tomorrow. The 565 Amiga that we stripped down, I need to assemble it, but I need a mainspring, so I can't really push forward until I get the mainspring for that. We've now got the 501, I think it was, the one with the stem. I need to buy a stem for that movement. What else do I have? The Seiko, which is ticking. We just need to do the dial side and case that up. And I think at the moment that's everything. So we've got plenty to do still. And I'll hopefully get most of it done tomorrow and over the weekend. Right, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to try and get an early one because I've been staying up way too late lately. I don't want to fall asleep at the bench tomorrow. So I will see you all tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. It very much depends on if I get dragged out for drinks tomorrow. We'll see. But the intention is to stream tomorrow. We'll make a start on the Rolex, try and rectify any issues with the this debris. But yeah, thank you for joining. I will see you tomorrow evening and have a wonderful night. I'll catch you later.